All Sports Media presents Wednesday Sports Talk. I would say I'm your host, Mark Gregory, but I'm not actually the host. The host is supposed to be Edward Hall, but again, Edward Hall just always runs and hides when the moment gets big. He just cannot face the big moment. So he leaves it on me, but I've got some pretty strong shoulders. I can pack it, I always do, but of course, I'm Mark Gregory, and Edward's doing his thing, Sharon and Karen, and doing all the stuff to get the show started. You already know the story about. I don't even really know the story. I just know that somehow or the other, there's like a third party thing. I don't know what it is, but basically, we can't punch Facebook. Boys basketball anymore. It's got to be shared off of air on walls. So that's what Edward's doing. But good not to be alive, and just there's a lot of things in the sports world right now. Of course, it was not high school related, sort of high school related, because we got a guy from the 13th region on that team, but a big win for the Kentucky Wildcats last night over the Duke Blue Devils, and I'm not going to trash on Duke like I really would want to because I got to be professional on this, but I was very, very happy to see the Cats pull that out. And I actually sat to watch the whole game. Didn't fall asleep. Was thinking the whole time, well, how are we going to blow this? How are we going to blow this? How are we going to blow this? But Duke was the one who blew it. So I guess it's the first win against Duke since 2015. Wow, that's 9 years. So congratulations to the boys basketball Cats and the girls Cats. Doing pretty good themselves. They just landed like the number 15 player in the country themselves. So the girls are doing quite well too. But the only thing that's worrying me about the 2025 class with the Kentucky Lady Cats, they've only landed one girl so far on that team. So need to add a few more though. But I don't know if Edward is ready. He's got his headset on. He's just looking. He's nodding. He just won't start talking until I shut up. So I'm gonna shut up and see if he's ready.
Well, Mark, I think everybody by now that's watched us over these few seasons that we've been up and running, they know you like to ramble quite often. So we got to let you have your few minutes there. So,
That wasn't nice to say. That sort of hurt my feelings.
well, you did say you had them strong shoulders to carry it. So what happened?
I might have strong shoulders, but I've got I've got a heart too.
Showing your sensitive side.
We're all sensitive, regardless if we're 6 foot or whatever.
I guess. But while we're waiting on our first guest, we was at a a fun little tournament there over the weekend, Mark.
Yeah, great competition, and all them teams they fought their heart out, and of course my voice is trying to leave me right now, so hopefully the halls will start kicking in, but yeah, it's a great competition up there, and you know I don't know I'm gonna I, I I I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it, um, folks. If you've not covered volleyball. Um, get out and watch these girls. Get out and cover these girls. Get out and these girls are very athletic, and these games are very competitive, and they're really competitive. And these girls give their hearts out. It was a little. Well, what's the word for it, Edward? I would just, you would hope for more coverage, but I just didn't see the coverage I was hoping to see at the volleyball championships.
Yeah, man, I'd have to agree with you. And talking about coverage, the our first guest right here, he covers a awful lot of field really quickly. You ready to go ahead and bring him on?
Absolutely.
First off, Hunter, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on and listen to Mark ramble on here for a few minutes.
I thank y'all for inviting me on.
But Hunter, from what I've seen so far, I got to ask you, what kind of work did you put in on the off season? Because you're absolutely, killing it out there this season.
Just took a lot of hard work during 7-on-7 time, and weightlifting in the weight room, the spring ball. Just had to really put a lot of determination into it.
Well, Mark, before I start going into some of mine, I'll give you a chance there.
Just give us a quick recap. Not right now at the playoff time, but just give us a recap of the regular season and your thoughts on it.
North Laurel, we started off slow. I think we played almost scared to lose coming off of a state championship last year. After that, we finally realized what we needed to do, and we did it.
It definitely, you could tell that the work that you put in. So you just could. It's like I compared it earlier in the year. It's sort of like a snowball. You make a little small snowball, and you roll it down the hill, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it seems like you're like at the big snowball pace right now because it's just like you're just running over people. And I'm not saying he ends his peak because I'm sure that you'll say, and even Coach Hilton will probably say there's a lot more you can improve on, but you're really playing good at the right time. So, just tell us a little bit about Powell County and last Friday night.
Powell County, I think we played great as a team. Our offensive line blocked great. Our defense came up strong. We just all played together really well.
Uh, I believe you're a junior. Am I right, Hunter?
Repeat that, please.
You're a junior.
Oh, yes, sir.
Um, well, there's a lot of great classes that go through Bell County every year. It seems like there's a great class that graduates, and the next one, next one, next one, next one. But it's hard not to look at the group of juniors that are on your team and say there's a lot of talent there, but you still got a lot of talent seniors also and sophomores. Just a very talented team. But just you was talking about the work in the weight room. So just are they like friendly competitions in there when you're there or lifting weights? Hey, let's see who can bench more. Hey, let's see who can do this more.
Oh yeah, every now and then, we'll have a little competition and just go against each other and just make each other better.
Yeah, that's one thing Bill Kane is definitely known for. Gotta, I can't let you go without asking you about the hill. How many times you run up and down that hill?
Normally every time we run it, we'll do at least 12, 15 hills. Whether what kind of variation it is, it all varies. Whether we bear crawl up it, back pedal, run it. There's so many different things we do with that hill.
So even after you graduate here in a couple of years and whatever college you're going to, is it just going to be like you're so used to running that hill, you'll have to drive to Millsboro in between the Pineville there, just run up and down that hill a couple of times to make your day get started.
Oh yeah, I think I definitely will. It's tradition.
Yeah, let's grab breakfast, go run the hill, and we're ready to go to work now, or something like that. But Edward, go ahead.
Listen, I have to give you props first off for that hill because I've seen that hill many a times. The only way I'm running up it is if I've got Taco Bell or something sitting at the top of it. Now, if I got to go down it, I think I'll beat everybody just because I'm going to roll. I ain't running down
It's definitely a big hill.
it. It is, but, you know, I've got to cover you a few times this season. And, from the stats I'm seeing, you don't just do it on the offensive side, but you do it on the defensive side also. Because you've got multiple tackles. I think you've got two interceptions as the seasons went. So is there one side you like better than the other? You like offense or defense?
I like offense mainly, but I love defense too. There's really no favorite.
So, on the interceptions where you do play offense and you play quite a bit of, the running back position, does that help you knowing because you get to see Blake's formations? Does that help you any when you're out there on defense?
Oh yeah, having a quarterback as good as Blake, you learn a lot based off trying to compete with him in practice, and being up against him throwing the ball. There's just so much you gotta look for.
So I do got to ask you about, Coach Hilton. Tell me your thoughts of playing for, if not the greatest, one of the greatest high school coaches that there has been.
I love Coach Hill, and I do believe he is the greatest uh, football coach of all time for high school ball. He really puts time and effort into it to get us prepared to compete each week.
I'd have to agree with you 100%. And so now I'm gonna have to ask you, do you have like a pre-game ritual before each game? Like, so me, I stop at Taco Bell before I go cover any game.
Uh, I'll go get some food. It doesn't really it varies each week, but I'll get some food and then an energy drink or two, and just go get locked in and ready to play.
So, see, you're the first person I think to actually said energy drink. So I'm gonna have to ask you, what energy drink do you drink?
Monsters mainly. It any of them,
So any of the monsters?
just about it. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you there. I do like Monster, but I am a little bit more of a Red Bull fan. So
Yeah, I like Red Bull too. That's the next favorite.
so in the Bell County area, give me your favorite place that you do like to go eat at.
Sauce is probably my favorite. Downtown Pineville, they've got really good Alfredo.
I do love sauce. My favorite part about it is where they're cooking it right dead in front of you, so you're seeing everything that's going on there. And Mark, if you ain't been there, that's a place you need to stop by.
I've been there, been there.
So I'm actually scrolling through your schedule right now, and it does look like, after the North Laurel game, y'all kind of did find your stride, and after Boyd County, y'all kind of just never looked back. So after those two games, what did you all see that allowed y'all to have the switch that you all got right now?
We realized the type of caliber team that we had, that we was a state championship caliber team if we uh, just was determined to get there.
Mark, before I show him a few things we'd put together for him, I'm gonna let you ask him a few more there.
Well, Hunter, I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm not a little jealous over the hair. You sort of reminded me back in my high school day. I had the hair going on, but I had the mullet. I don't know if you've got the mullet going on, but
Got the mullet.
you don't have the mullet. This
Nah,
was just the long hair. Yeah.
yeah, just long hair.
Then I don't know if you know who it was, but I had like the Billy Ray Cyrus thing going on. Squared over the ears, the spike, and the long hair.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was something else. Does anybody spike their hair at school anymore? Or is that just a forgotten tradition?
I haven't seen anybody, but I'm sure at some places they still do.
Yeah, yeah. I know I used to put like a half a can of mousse in my hair and comb. Yeah, yeah. But oh, how the traditions changed. But
Mark,
uh,
back in your day, I don't even know if they had scissors. So
no, back in my day, I think that's the reason why I have breathing problems right now because I'd have to huff 2.5 gallons of Aquanet hairspray, and I know some of these older women would probably understand that the Aquanet. So yeah, the hair up to here and the Aquanet. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but but Hunter, you do got some great hair now. I am completely jealous. I'll never get any hair like that again. So cherish it while you got it, though. Just wave it in the air and do yeah.
Thank
But
you.
but gotta of course, we followed you all the way to Kroger Field last year, and I left that game. It just you didn't get the ultimate outcome you was wanted, but you sort of left that game like they're right there. They was right there. right there, and really going in other than Yuns in that locker room. A lot of people outside that locker room wasn't giving Yuns a chance, and we interviewed a couple of your teammates last year, and they was like, we're ready, we're not intimidated, and they showed the world up there that Bell County's Bell County, and Yuns come up there to win. So a game like that, how does that? I mean, how does that just light your fire for the next following year?
Going into the state championship game the previous year, that was hard shoes to fill for Daniel leaving, but we knew we could do it. So I mean, we just got after it to try to make it back.
Of course, I got to ask you this question: what is it going to take to get back on that carpet again?
I think what we're doing right now, just staying focused, having the work ethic to want to get back there.
Well, folks, for the folks that don't know, and if I've got my math right, if you're going to get to the carpet, I think you're going to have to go through Log Mountain to get it, and there's not too many teams that would want to make that travel. So it's definitely in your hands. Hopefully we get to cover Yins again.
I definitely hope so.
So, Hunter, before we let you go, I do got another question for you. Then I'm going to show you a few things we did put together for you. So, out of this season so far, before the season started, was there a certain game that you or your team had highlighted you couldn't wait to play?
I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, we was looking forward to all of them, just the whole season in general. We was ready to get back after it and just show what we could do.
Absolutely. And so now we do tend to put together a couple graphics for each student athlete that comes on our show. And that's kind of our way of saying thank you for taking your time to come on and have to deal with Mark rambling on and drinking coffee. So, I have to apologize for that.
I enjoy it. Thank you all for inviting me on here.
Hunter, do you like coffee?
I do.
Do you like it hot or cold?
Either one.
Well, see, now his head just expanded, Hunter.
Hunter could drink hot coffee. He's got the hair. He's got 80s written all over him. Me and him's going to go listen to some ACDC, get in the Trans Am, or house speakers in the back seat. We're ready to go.
That sounds good to me.
But with the graphics, I will send them to you after the show's over with, and we will post them on all of our social media sites. And I kind of just want to get your idea on which one of the two you like the most.
All right, sounds good. I like that. I like them both equally. They're both great.
Well, I do appreciate to see, Mark. I can't tell you that you lost this one. I mean, so
Hunter's got 80s written all over him. I mean, I'm telling you, he I know it's like 2024 now, but he's got the mindset of a 1980s. I'm telling you, hard rock. He's got the long hair. I mean, yeah, Hunter worked really, really good in their generation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
but Hunter, everything that I've seen from you, the times I've got to cover you, you're killing it. Your team's killing it. There's only one thing left to do after you get past Lawrence County here, and that's just keep doing what y'all have been doing.
Win state, win state.
We're looking forward to it, but we're just going to play one game at a time and see where it goes.
And when you do win state, me and Edward be standing out there. Draw me like the really good candy bars. Throw him like the peppermints and stuff.
Okay.
Well, Hunter, I do want to thank you for taking your time to come on. And again, best of luck there Friday night.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for the invite on here.
Thank you. I mean, what can you say? Great interview.
Great interview. And I'm telling you, he's got the 80s mentality. I'm telling you, Hunter would be the top that me and him could go cruising, the old Camaro and T-tops off, the hair flying through, listening to some AC/DC or wired up house speakers in the back seat. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, driving around in circles at Carvey Square.
Mark, first off, you got to have the hair to be able to ride around with your hair blowing.
Well, I had my hair back then. I'm just saying we could convert them back to the 80s.
I guess. I
But my
still don't
hair,
think you had
but
hair
my,
back in the 80s.
but my hair wouldn't have flew through the air because my hair was so stiff. I could have probably poked it through a window or something.
Well,
For
while
anybody
we're
viewing
waiting,
tonight, somebody please let Edward know what mousse and Aquanet hairspray is. Educate them on that, please.
listen, I know
They
what
have to be.
mousse is. We had the same mothers. I used to get that put in my hair every school day for it to be spiked up in some weird form.
I'm telling you, in class, you never sit behind a girl. I'm telling you, the comb will go up and the Aquanet everywhere. And like, don't light a cigarette around that. Yeah. Somebody help me out. I have faith in the viewers. I don't know if they
I
even sell
guess.
Aquanet anymore.
Well, while we're waiting on our next set of guests, let's scroll back to that. As soon as I get back in here, go back to talking about the volleyball state championship, Mark.
Great competition. You could tell the teams wanted it real bad. Every one of them was very deserving of the moment, and just a great competition up there. Love the treatment that GRC gave us up there. Loved where we went and ate at. Shout out to Gaddyland up there. Good prices, good food. Loved every minute of that also. But just really competitive competition. I'm telling you, um, there's some real athletes in that, and you just can't really. And I stand 6 foot, 6 foot and a half, something like that. Whatever. If I'm wearing high shoes, maybe 6'1". But I'm telling you, and these young ladies walking by me, 3 to 4 inches higher than me. I mean, these are tall, very athletic young females that could really hit a ball hard. And I, be honest, sometimes some of them kills that was being made up there, I'm like, how in the world are they even swatting that thing back without it really hurting them? I mean, I can just imagine the the just the pressure on the wrist.
Well, you're talking about that, so we'll bring on a few of them, and you can ask them a little bit about those questions there, Mark.
Well, they blipped. They didn't like.
But there,
I didn't like you half the time, Edward.
I think you scared them, Mark. But first off, I do want to thank you for taking the time to come on and listen to Mark ramble on right here in a minute.
Thank you for inviting us.
But Mark, I know you got a bunch of rambling you want to do, so I'll let you have your first go.
Okay, first off, we'll let the young ladies introduce themselves to the audience.
Okay, you go first. Okay, I'm Ryan. I'm Elise.
I'm Peyton.
And they play for Scott. And one of the performances that we witnessed on them, and even saw a couple of them doing some dance moves, and maybe Edward could put that up there for us.
Oh,
That could
goodness.
probably lead us up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I've seen it on the background too. So is that like a pregame team ritual for you that you just have to like complete the dance before you play or something?
It was kind of just like an in the moment thing that we decided to do.
So what kind of dance was that?
It was just a dance on TikTok that was popular, and Mylan had sent it to me, and we ended up doing it together.
So was that like the first time you did that, or?
That was the first time I had done that dance. Yes.
Okay. So do you think me and Ever could do that if we tried?
Oh, for sure. For sure, I think you could. I can teach it to
Ever.
you guys. Don't
Well,
worry.
Well,
well, see,
if
I'm
you
glad
could,
she's got the confidence in us because I think all that moving, I would have to fall and hit the ground a time or two.
well, at least it's perfected. If you teach it to us, me and Edward will actually try it, and we'll put it on next week's show to see
Yeah,
if
of
we
course.
actually could do it there.
Of course, yeah.
But just a great season for real, and you could all take your moment. Just I know you didn't get the ultimate goal, but where you got to was really good. But just tell us about your season, and you can both all three take your moment.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to? You can go first. I think that we started off a little rough and not how we wanted to, but I think that one thing that we did consistently throughout the season was have team meetings and kind of all make sure we were on the same page. And I think that kind of led us into the success that we had at the end. And I don't know, I just think that helped us a lot. Do either of you want to go?
Yeah, I think it definitely was a bit rocky in the beginning of the season, but we did all come together and we just showed that we wanted it more and had a good season. Yeah, I think after the beginning, it was just about trust and trusting each other, knowing that we can succeed with us as a team. I agree.
Edward, if my stuff's correct here, 31-12 for the season, undefeated in their region, 13-0, 6-0 in their district. That's a pretty remarkable year, and the reason why we wanted to bring you on, and me and they were talked a lot about this after the tournament. And you talked a little bit about how you were together, and you could tell that your team was really close. And also the fan support, the parents, the school system, you felt a lot of love for you. And so, was you as tight knit as we were seeing?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. It
Um,
glitched.
it just just seeing all the love for you and Sarah sort of won us over. So that's a lot of the reason why we brought you on. So just tell us a little bit about your support.
I think specifically the student section showed out a lot for us this year. I mean, driving down and seeing us in a state game was, I don't know, just the support like that gave us trust in ourselves to like do better. And obviously the parents show up every single game. They never miss anything. Like they make posters for us. They're always
True.
there. But
Yeah. I think seeing how much people care about the volleyball team actually like brought us together and wanted it to like make history, obviously. Especially our first state game with the communities coming out, like not knowing half the people there, but knowing they were there to support us was definitely special.
Um, we're based upon, we're based around the 13th region. Edward bounces more statewide than I do. So, just give our audience, just tell us a little bit about the 10th region. Tell us about some of your rivals in that region. Tell us about your district. Just let people know about the 10th region.
I think in our district specifically, Brossart has always been a challenge for us, and they're great competitors. They always do really well. And I mean, us seeing them in the district championship and the region championship, I mean, I don't know, it's difficult, but I think that us coming together as a team really helped us. But I mean, I think Brossart always shows out every single year and is a good competitor for us.
I'd have to agree. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like them and Campbell County are usually who, like, since I've been playing, is who we've seen as the most competitive, and Montgomery County too. Yeah, they're a good one.
So how big of a school is Scott?
Scott, I mean, probably around about 1,000 students.
Yeah, maybe less.
Yeah,
I think it is. It's pretty small.
But I'll have 1,000 questions for you. I'll let Ever take over.
So I am looking at your schedule because that's I'm a big schedule and stat person. So I seen you that y'all did play, big time competitions. You had the September Slam at Scott High, if I'm not mistaken. So just give me your thoughts on some of the competition level that you played, how that helped you when you got into district.
I think that some specific competition that we had was Ryle. I mean, we faced them. They're a great team. We faced them. Yeah, SK was a great game for us, 5-set. But I mean, we saw Ryle twice within a span of a week, so I think that kind of helped us. Because I mean, we were struggling in the tournament, and then we saw them, and then we saw them that next week, and I think it kind of helped us come together even more and realize.
Yeah, I think. What was another big game though?
Oh yeah,
St. Henry. We only see them once.
So I am going to have to ask you about your coach. Give me your thoughts on what about your coach.
Sullivan, I joined the program in my 7th grade year, and she's been a great coach to me ever since. She's changed me as a person and made me more. I don't know. I mean, she's just like made me grow into a woman almost. Like she's made me mature. Like she made me take ownership for my actions. She's a great coach.
She always pushes you to make you do your best. She's very supportive and
it's not even like in volleyball season.
she'll help you through any.
But outside of volleyball season, she's a great person to go to for anything.
And her coach Brooke and Johnson work really good together and help us a lot through the season and out of it.
So, these are some of my favorite questions to ask. So I am going to have to ask you because it seems like it's just me. So like every game before I go cover, I have to get Taco Bell. So do y'all have like a pregame ritual that y'all do before you go?
Usually we go to UDF before every game to get an energy drink.
Ice. Yeah.
If Ryan gets ice, he doesn't get an energy drink,
or Dunkin'.
Yeah.
So I just heard you say energy drinks. Now I'm gonna have to ask, what kind of energy drink?
I get Alani's.
I also get Alani's, but I've switched it up and I've got Celsius before too. It's kind of just whatever I'm feeling that day.
Well, Mark gets coffee.
Coffee, great option. It's a great option. I love coffee.
Hot coffee or cold?
Hot or cold?
Ice,
both.
Ice for sure. Both.
Depends on the day, for real.
They said iced, Mark, not hot.
They said according to what day on the days.
Well, it's still they both said ice first.
It's winter time now. I'm sure they're drinking hot coffee.
Wait, what?
They're not saying that.
Wait, what did you say?
In the winter time, is it hot coffee?
I feel like it's still
coffee.
iced. I feel like it's iced year round.
I would drink hot coffee in the winter time. It just depends. Like, switch it up. I drink both.
Do you like Starbucks or Dunkin' better?
Starbucks.
Good choice.
Agreed.
Good choice.
Well, that shocks you, Mark. I just figured you was gonna say anywhere soda hot coffee.
Well, Starbucks does sell hot coffee. You just ask for hot.
I know, but I just figured you'd say anywhere.
I do like the chocolate and the other stuff.
So I do got to ask you, what up there around Scott, where would you consider your favorite place to go eat?
Skyline.
I would say Nux.
Switch it up. Skyline or Nux, yeah.
All right, before I ask my last round of questions, Mark, I know you still got a few more there.
Just tell us a little bit and about again, next year, you're building something there, and I've talked to some people since we found out we was bringing you on. So, of course, the foundation's there. So, what is it going to take for you to take the next step next year?
I don't know. like I think we're definitely gonna have to build more trust and come together as a team and put everything aside and know to play our game. And we can't play down to anybody. We have to always have that push, that fire, and, and want to succeed. It's definitely a rebuilding year, but I think we'll get through it.
Well, he disappeared. So he's probably going to get a refill on his coffee. But before the season started, I think this is my favorite question. Was there a certain team that you all had highlighted you couldn't wait to play against the most?
SK for sure.
Is it because, like the fans show up more, or is that just more of like an intense style game? Or
It's usually a pretty intense game. I mean, the past couple years we played them, it's been a 5-set match, so we knew that it was going to be good competition. So, and I think it's just the support also.
Yeah. It's like we know everybody on their team.
Yeah.
It's like our friends, and it's always our inclusion night, though. Yeah. It's just a fun night in general.
Yeah. It is our inclusion night. I forgot about that.
so, like in that game, I heard you talk about that. Most of you's your friends. So, is it during the game you're just like, you're my enemy, but after the game, hey, let's go get Starbucks?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, see, back in my day, it wasn't like that. If we didn't like you on the field, we didn't like you off. So, but I do got to ask you, what do you all do on the off season?
Me and Ryan, we play club volleyball, and we have like trainings we go to sometimes. She plays softball.
Yeah, I play softball in the off season.
Well, y'all play softball also? Is that correct?
I'm the only one that plays softball.
Okay, well, any of you play basketball? Or is it,
Just
well, we do cover those sports also. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get to see you again. But I do tend to make a few graphics for each student athlete that does come on our show. And this is kind of our way of saying thank you. And sorry that you have to deal with Mark rambling on. But
well, they didn't have to right now because I'm dealing with Eastern Kentucky internet. I have no idea what happened right there. Hopefully, it's have better internet than we do down here in the hills. So, normally, it's their internet going crazy. My internet's going crazy tonight.
But I will send these graphics out after the show's over with to you all, and we will post them on all of our social media sites. And I'm surprised he's not trying to bribe you on which ones to pick yet. See, there it went.
No, I just scratched mine.
That's what I would say too. But kind of after I show them to you, just kind of tell us which one you like the most.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I really like the gold.
Sorry.
It looks so good. Hey, Ryan, yours looks so good.
Oh, I like that.
Hey, that looks so good.
Period.
Well, I just double clicked.
You're good. Yeah,
That's good.
That looks so good.
So out of the two, is it the first one or the second one?
I liked the first
one. I liked the first one as well.
I like the first one.
See there, Mark? There's nothing wrong with the original.
I'm sorry, Mark.
So sorry.
Well, at least they're saying they're sorry anyway. Most everybody else just laughs at me, so thank you for being sorry for me.
Of course.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm laughing at you. So
Edward's like that. Edward's mean. He got a mean heart. He's got a mean heart.
But final question before I let you go, I have to ask this: are you all a trash talker out there on the court? Because see, if it's me and I hit a volleyball over and I hit Mark, I'm gonna laugh at him, probably run around the net, probably throw it at him. Yeah, I don't know.
He would throw it at me.
I actually talked to the people across the net.
I wouldn't say that I'm a trash talker.
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, at least we got one of them.
I make
But
conversations with them.
well, conversations is what I would say too. It's distraction, so it still counts as trash talking.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, from the stats that I've seen, and some of the records that some of y'all broke that I got the privilege of making graphics for, I do have to say congratulations on that. And y'all killed it this season, and looking forward to the upcoming softball season that you play, and then volleyball again next season. Mark, no.
I'm just saying, we're eventually going to get out to one of these softball games, and have them throw some pitches and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For
Well, I mean, if you want to see me strike out like 7 times in a row, I mean,
Throw mine a little slower. I'm older. I can't see.
Of course.
but I do want to thank you for taking the time. And like I said, from what I've seen, y'all absolutely killed it this season. And congratulations on the run that y'all made.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Just keep on keeping on. You just won us over up there. It's a very fun bunch, and we see that. We've been doing this for a while, and when we see a fun bunch like you, it's sort of win us over too. So we're fans of you from here on out, and anything that you do, any kind of achievement, was that the word for it, Edward?
Milestone.
Milestone achievement, anything you do like that, send to us. Let us make ends up something. Let us help promote yins. You deserve it. Yins are a great group of people. Love your fan base up there, and just keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Mark, you ready for our next one?
We're ready.
Hello.
All right. Well, sorry about Mark keeping you back there, and I guess he calls it the green room. As long
It
as
is
he
the
did.
green room. It is the green room.
Did he at least leave you any food back
He
there?
had food back there, drinks. She had everything.
Yeah.
You
All good.
you sure you didn't eat them all, Mark?
No, we took care of her. Had the buffet there, the elevator music playing.
But first off, thank you for taking the time to come on. And wrestling is kind of a new sport that we are trying to learn. Because when I think of wrestling, I think of like body slams and elbow drops. So do you do that in any of your matches?
Yeah, the most common slam that we use though, because we're not allowed to just pick up and slam, because that's illegal, because you can hurt the opponent. But the most common slam that we do is a hip toss, which is you bring the person you're wrestling over your back and smack them on the ground. But you have to make contact with the mat before they do, or then it's illegal.
See, I didn't know that. I'd been going out there trying to like pick somebody up and like suplex them or something. So I'd have got through out first match.
Suplexing is illegal now in the regular wrestling, but in freestyle you can do it. There's 2 different types of wrestling.
See, I didn't know that either. But Mark, I'll let you start, and then.
Well, I approached Olivia several weeks back ago, and like I told her, it was something that we was launching new, that we had really no idea of the sport, and that's the reason why we need young ladies like Olivia to come on the show, not only to educate us, but to educate the fan base also, so that we can help better promote these events the best way we know how. And again, thank you for giving us your time. And I know you got a thing called life in school and wrestling practice and all that other stuff going on. So we really, really do appreciate you giving us your time. Um, but now again, we're new at the wrestling aspect, like our pages are new. And so anything that you could tell us, we're just going to lock it up and we're going to keep it, and we'll learn from it. But now I have talked to a few people, and I'm not going to tell you who my sources was, but am I correct? You finished second place in the region last year.
Yes, placed second in regions, and I went to state. I did place in state, but as a first year wrestler with 3 months of experience and only practicing, I placed second in the first ever KHSAA Girls Kentucky Championship for regions.
So just tell us a little bit about that moment, about the region and all that, and accomplishing all the firsts that you did last year.
So, actually, when I started wrestling, my dad suggested to me because I've been boxing for so long. He wrestled and he suggested to me, so I showed up at practice one day. First day, I loved it. I was so excited. I was just so enthusiastic. Everybody was so nice. It's like a family. Everybody could probably beat you up, but everybody's so nice. So the first couple matches, I didn't win because you have to pay your dues. You're not gonna win the first time you're gonna wrestle. So then I started getting the hang of it. Started pinning girls, beating them up, making them cry. The normal stuff you do. And then the last two tournaments we went to determined if we went to regions. And I placed first in one of them, and I placed second in the other one. So that was my ticket to go to regions. During regions, all of the coaches, everyone was so supportive. Everyone was really trying to motivate, and um, I went against a girl from Taylor County. She's a phenomenal athlete. I went in there thinking I was going to beat her up, and she just dragged me all over the place because I still didn't really know too much about it. And when I got in the ring, I was, well, not the ring, the mat. I was so excited because like it's so amazing what you can do with 3 months. Like I always look back at like, oh, I can't do this and I don't have enough time. But then in 3 months of wrestling, I placed second in a girls' region tournament, and it's also so just amazing how much it grows and how much everything is set up and how everyone cares so much. Wrestling, you have to have the right mindset for it. If uh, you're down on yourself and you don't think you can beat somebody, you always want to go in the matches thinking that that's your mat, and they shouldn't have stepped on the mat because that's challenging. And it's you have to have a right mindset to be able to go into a wrestling match and having someone stand in front of you thinking that they're gonna win. It's really mostly about mindset. It's pretty much what it is.
Um, I think I have a pretty good idea about this answer, but you spoke a little bit about boxing. So I'm hearing that maybe you're taking some boxing too, and you've got some really good family members that know their stuff too.
Yeah. My papa, my mom's dad, Jimmy Haynes, he was a professional boxer, and I actually had my second match. My first ever match was when I was like 8 years old, and I didn't win. I couldn't stay on my feet. But the more recent match I had, um, uh, I think it was on the 7th of last month. I won, and really just want to thank my mom and my mom and dad and my grandpa for just motivating me so much through everything that I do. And they're the main reason that I'm here and that I'm doing so good with wrestling because they just motivate me so much. When I don't feel like doing something, they motivate me. They give me something to look forward to, and I just really appreciate that.
Well, I gotta say for the record, I love Jimmy to death. I know him personally. He taught my kids a little bit too, and just a great man, and just absolutely love him. But I'm telling you, that's a bad man. I'm telling you, I've seen him in action, Edward, and I would go in there and play around in his gym a little bit, just try to tap on them bags a little bit. And you have to be a peak physical condition. That is like the best cardio workout you'll ever get. Am I right, Olivia?
Yeah. It's
Uh,
you would think it's pretty close, but boxing, being in boxing shape and wrestling shape, is a lot different because wrestling, it's both of them is about strength, but boxing is so. it's so much more cardio. Honestly, my opinion. Some people might think that it's easier or harder, but getting punched in the face and getting held in one place trying to get out is so different. You have to be in peak peak condition to do both of those things.
So how does boxing help you with wrestling? I'm sure that I think I should already know this answer, but I'll let you answer that for me.
Well, boxing can help in wrestling by improving your strength, making you stronger. It can improve your how well you take pain. Um, because getting punched in the face and then getting slammed on the ground is kind of the same. It's not really, but you get what I'm saying with that. Footwork, there's a lot of footwork in both of the things. Jump roping every single day for both things. Jump roping for boxing, getting rhythm in your feet, and wrestling, being able to move your feet back and sprawl when someone's about to shoot on you is really important. It kind of just goes hand in hand with certain stuff. But some stuff like head movement with boxing, you don't wouldn't use in wrestling. Nobody's
Mhm.
throwing punches at you.
Edward, I can stay here and talk to Olivia all night because she's got more knowledge in her finger about the sport of wrestling than we'll ever know.
I mean, I have to agree with you on that. So, in the sport of wrestling, what would you consider your favorite aspect of it?
Favorite aspect? That's a hard question. Probably how much there is to it, like how many things that you can learn. Like we've went through this my second year of wrestling, and there's just so many things that you can learn. There's so many different moves. There's so many different techniques. You can shoot one shot, say double leg, where you take both legs down, and there's endless ways that you could finish shots, like pinning and power halving. Can't full Nelson anymore. That's illegal. You can put a wing in, a game over. It's just such a wide variety. We're not stuck with the same things. It's just so, it's just, it's a lot more, safe, I guess. I don't really know the word for it. Like, knowing that you can do so many things. There's ways to get out of every little thing you possibly think. Even if you think you can never get out of a hold or never get out of a pin, there's always some way that you can do
So, I do got to ask you. You know, wrestling. I heard you talking about that you do boxing also. So, is there any other sport you do, or is that like your two main sports that you do?
Well, sports that I don't do like in school, I go golfing with my dad every once in a while, and I've beat him every time we've went, which is surprising because I'm terrible. But basketball, I had to quit basketball because of wrestling. The high school basketball team runs the same time as wrestling, and if it was different seasons, I would still play basketball because I have such a love for basketball. And I'm not trying to be a brag, but I'm pretty good, and I would really like to be on the girls' basketball team, but I have such just a fond love of wrestling that I don't think I would ever trade it for anything else.
So, I know, like, does the season, like, I know the high school season ends for wrestling, but is there like AAU, like any type of summer wrestling or anything that you can do, or is it just like high school wrestling only?
There is individual tournaments where you can have your own singlet, have your own. You're pretty much your own person, like your own brand, your own school. You're not really a school, but you can go into individual tournaments. Your mom and dad just takes you to, as long as you have all the proper physicals and all the proper cards and stuff. But during the summertime, Ralph Clark, the head coach of the Whitley County wrestling team, has club at Wofford. Um, we This summer we kind of reinvented it down there. We've the old mats that we don't use anymore. They're big. They came in like three pieces. We cut them and put them in two rooms, and we wrestle there, work on moves, and it's just trying to get as much work as we can. It's a lot of there's a lot of things you can do other than just school.
So, what do you do during the off season? What do you do to actually keep yourself prepared for the upcoming wrestling season?
Um, During the off season, and I do the same thing during the season, just keep myself in shape. As if wrestling practice gets cut off, I'll run 2 miles every day. If it's too cold or too hot outside, I'll go down on my treadmill and run 2 miles. I do 500 push-ups a day, 500 squats, and 500 sit-ups. It's just something my dad has pushed me to do. I used to do only 100 a day. I was doing 50 for a while, I do 100, and I've went up to 500 because no other girls doing that. Honestly, there might be a couple, but I just really try to work on myself as much as I can to be the best that I can possibly be.
Did you say 500 push-ups, 500 setups, 500 squats? Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I don't even think I can do five. Yeah, I don't even think I can do five. So, I have had a
Yeah, it's
few a
it's not
few other.
about.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm saying like I got to do them in sets. Doing 500 push-ups in a row is crazy. I could probably get around 50 push-ups in a row, which is still pretty hard, but I understand.
I don't even think I could break them up in sets throughout like a week session and be able to get 500.
Well, I
My favorite
mean,
thing to do is turn my favorite TV show on and spin
he's
around.
you probably want an arm wrestler ever. I'm just saying, just saying, he's pretty strong.
But I have had a few wrestlers tell me that they have to. I'm assuming the words eat right. So do you have to follow
Yeah,
like a certain eating plan too?
it's a huge part. I don't follow a specific eating plan. I will have a bag of chips, maybe some candy bar every once in a while. But as long as you're eating right, like not hamburgers and hot dogs, you can have some every once in a while. But my favorite thing is steak and chicken and rice. That keeps me really lean and just greens, a lot of vegetables. Um, but it's not too strict. Some people make it really strict. Some people are like really strict about their weight, and they think it's the most important thing in the world to make weight. But a lot of that mainly comes from them not being in the right weight class because I'm a 152 weight class right now, and I'm weighing in around 153. But if 1 pound is fine for me to lose, I'm probably around 151 right now because I haven't hardly eaten sweets in like 2 months. But if you're in an unhealthy weight class and you're losing unhealthy weight, it's gonna lower your performance. You're not gonna be as good. But if you're a healthy, because last year I was 145, but this year I couldn't stay there because I was just building so much muscle. And if I would have went to 145, I would not be a healthy 145. It's all about making sure your body is fed. It doesn't matter if you're a 160, 180, 285, as long as you're healthy and you're in shape, you should be fine. It's all about being healthy. And losing weight that isn't healthy for you is the worst thing you could possibly do for wrestling.
Well, in other words, I'm already out of the picture. I have to have at least 3 Reese cups a day. So I mean, but Mark,
Um, I'm gonna ask you this, and I know when you're in your matches, you had to be professional, locked in, all that stuff. How hard is it to keep your cool? I mean, maybe if somebody might hit you accidentally, I mean, can something like that just get you so mad it sort of takes you out of your game a little bit?
Some stuff like that happens. I get the wind knocked out of me. That'll mess me up a little bit, but I get it back pretty quick because I've just happened so much. So I'm used to it. And getting hit in the nose in boxing and wrestling, that seems to annoy me the most. But the thing about wrestling and boxing is that when you get hit in the nose or you get something dirty to you, if you're slick enough, you can just do it right back to them, and nobody's going to say nothing about it. That's probably my favorite thing about it is payback.
I've got to hit you with a couple hard hitting questions if you're ready for these. Okay, they call me Mister Hard Hitter. I know you can take it. You're pretty mean, but gotta ask you in Williamsburg, what's your most favorite place to go eat at? And they ain't many choices in Williamsburg.
In Williamsburg,
Yeah.
probably El Dorado's. It's so good. Probably the best Mexican restaurant I've ever eaten at. One of the best places. It's my favorite. I get the same thing every time.
So the cheese sauce or red sauce?
Red.
Hmm. I like the cheese sauce on all my stuff. I don't know.
I like
Red sauce is okay.
yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you this, and this is about you, like your whole wrestling team. I guess you know your wrestling team pretty good, don't you? I mean, it's
Yeah,
probably
it's like a
developed good.
big family. Everybody knows each other.
Okay, so I don't know exactly how many's in your wrestling team. Let's say we have a 25 passenger van. Okay, you are out and about, and it tears up. Who's gonna go out there on your wrestling team and fix the van?
Ooh, I feel like fixing it wise, probably one of the coaches because they probably know a little more about, fixing stuff like that. But everybody is going to be out there helping. And if they're not allowed, they're going to be asking. Everybody's going to try to do something. Everyone's going to help. If that means holding a flashlight, holding an umbrella above them if it's raining, or just motivate and say, you got this. Yeah, everybody's going to try to do something.
Well, I know if Edward was on your wrestling team, he wouldn't go out there. He's like, I can't fix it. He'd lay in the back seat somewhere. I guarantee you that. And see, he knows I'm telling the truth.
I'd be taking a pillow and taking a nap.
Okay, so you all get together, you fix the van. Okay, you're driving down the road, you run out of gas. Who's gonna pay for the gas to put in the van?
Probably the coaches, if most likely the coaches. But I feel like because like if they had to, everybody would pitch in, but the coaches would most likely pay for the gas.
Okay, the last but not least, okay, you just go somewhere at somebody's house to hang out, no Netflix and chill or stuff like that. You all get hungry. Who's cooking?
So I would probably cook, but there's a couple other people who I know can cook pretty good because I'm excellent cook myself. I actually, probably it's actually one of my favorite things to do is bake and cook. So I would probably be the main one, head chef Gordon Ramsay yelling at everybody. But I feel like be a couple more people. There's a lot of people that I know for a fact that wouldn't help at all for cooking. But there's probably around five of us would probably help and cook.
Well, I know Edward for a fact would not go in the kitchen to help you cook, but what's your favorite dish to put together?
My favorite dish to
Yeah.
sorry, I'm stuttering. Favorite dish to put together. Now it used to be spaghetti. It's so simple, but now it is a steak grilled cheese sandwich. Every time we have steak, that's exactly what I eat. I cook my steak first. I like them medium rare, and then it's always got to be Colby Jack cheese. I use
Can
the
I
same
interrupt you
pan.
for a second? Did you just say medium rare? You
Yes,
said
medium rare.
they was creaming me a couple of weeks ago about medium rare. You know, it's not a steak unless it's medium rare.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
thank you.
the same pan I used to cook the steak, used to cook the grilled cheese, all that flavor and stuff. And then I slice up my steak into little cubes and put it in between the cheese and the thing and let that cook. And it doesn't get through the steak enough to make it not medium rare. So the little cubes are still like how I like them. It's just my favorite thing ever. It's probably uh, the simplest, fastest meal.
So do you like fold it up like in a taco, like Neil, like put your steak in the middle of it or something?
No, I have these little pair. I have this little these tongs. I think is what they're called. And I lay the first slice of bread on the pan at a low heat, and then I'll turn it up after I'm gonna put the steak, put my cheese, and then I'll put all the pieces spread out pretty good. And once the cheese is melted, I'll make sure to flip it because if it's not, the steak is gonna fall out, and you're gonna have to open up your sandwich again and put all the steak in. So on a low heat, put the grilled cheese, one end of the grilled cheese on there, then the steak, and then turn the heat up, put the top on it. Once the cheese melted, flip it over. It's a pretty good technique, I think. Invented it myself.
I know what I'm eating tomorrow night. Thank you, Olivia, for that. I know exactly what I'm eating tomorrow night. I just had to get the directions. One more, now let Edward have you. Um, Again, been talking to some people, And of course, we knew how good you was at basketball. Great athlete. You're a really, really good athlete. And, you're still young. You still got, a lot of high school left. But is it just strictly wrestling for you, or like when you decide to make the next step, Division 1, would you think about playing other sports if coaches approach you?
If the thing is that wrestling has just got such a close attachment, and I don't want to get burned out. I wanted
Yeah.
for the longest time I wanted to be a marine biologist, but now I'm looking into law school, being a prosecutor, and I actually want to go into the MMA because I feel like I could really, really do a lot from that. But if there was an opportunity that helped me out more and wrestling wasn't doing good, I feel like that's the only situation. If I just wasn't doing good in wrestling and I was getting injured all the time, I may low possibility that I would consider a different sport. It's just that I don't think I could ever live without wrestling. If I have kids one day, I'm gonna make them wrestle, so I'm always around it. I'm gonna go to college wrestling meets. Even if I'm not wrestling in the wrestling meets now, I try to go to every single one of them, which helps a lot because my get to watch techniques, get to listen to what the coach is saying, and my papa usually drives the buses for them, so I get to go to almost every single tournament. I'm there if I'm wrestling or not. If it's at 3 in the morning, I'll get up at 3 and I'll go and cheer everybody on and help out.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind you'll succeed in wrestling. You'll succeed in anything that you put your mind to it. Anybody that knows you personally knows just whatever you want, you'll take. So, just good luck with all that for sure. And what a great interview. You have really, really helped us, and hopefully, we can beg you back onto another one of these shows, especially when we start hitting wrestling more harder and start going to more of these events, and maybe you could help coach us along on down the road.
So I do have another question for you before I show you a few things that we put together for you. So, out of the time that you have wrestled, what would you consider your most favorite like event, match, or like individual that you have wrestled?
My favorite match was probably there was a Bell County girl, and she's a good wrestler. And every time that I would wrestle her before, I would get pinned. I would just just get beat by her. And wrestling for regions, the my last match was against that girl, and I threw her around for the whole time. I was so proud of myself. I won the match, and it caused me to play second. And she's a good wrestler, and I was just so accomplished and so proud of who I was. My dad gave me a big motivational speech before I went, and before I wrestled her, my mom and my papa was sitting up there, and they was kind of doubting me a little bit because they had seen what the matches looked like before when I wrestled her. And I went up to my papa and my mom and I told them, I said, I'm going to win. I'm going to win against this girl. I'm going to beat her in this match. And I went right up there and did it.
So we do tend to put together a few things for each student athlete that does come on our show, and he's already trying to bribe you for
I'm
right out
just
the gate.
kidding, my.
Well, I'd say too, Mark. But after the show's over with, I will get them sent out to you, or Mark will get them sent over to you one way or another. We'll make sure you get them, and we will post them on every social media website that we have. We do have, but we do kind of got a thing going on. We want to see which one you like better, the first one or the second one here.
Yeah. I like that one, but the pictures, the with my arms crossed, well, not my arms crossed, when I'm smiling over, the angle is not right on that picture. But that is really, really nice. I do like that one. I like that one better. I like the second one better. I like the second one better.
Everybody always seems to like the second one better on the wrestling. I think it's just the mat.
Well, I like the there's like a little bit of me in action kind of there with my fight gear on and shaking the hand. That's one of my favorite pictures I have of wrestling. Other than me getting my hand raised a couple of times, I have pictures of.
But from what little bit I do know about wrestling, you know, I have to say you're killing it and everything, and looking forward to actually getting out to covering a few of the wrestling events. So when you see us there and we're interviewing you, we might not have a clue what we're talking about, but we're going to try. But I do have to thank you again for coming on, and you know, go out there this year and go win state and bring it back.
Uh,
I will.
Olivia,
I'm going to win state this year.
absolutely, and anybody that knows Olivia knows that if she puts this to it, it'll happen, and for sure, we have faith in you, and we're pulling for you. Any accomplishments you do this year, get with me or Edward. Send us your pictures. We'll make you grass region champion, district champion, meet champion. Send us this stuff. Let us make stuff up for you. Let us promote you the best way we know how. But a great interview.
Thank you. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys letting me be on here.
Thank you. And again, we appreciate you. And I'm sorry you had to deal with Mark rambling on for.
She's number one because she picked number two.
Well,
Thank you,
Mark,
Olivia.
I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
we'll see. But I mean, we've had multiple great interviews tonight, and well, any final thoughts before we close off tonight?
We're a little bit over, but we sort of figured that. But as long as the interviews are going good, it's hard. It's hard to start it out real good with you can't what Bill County did. I'm not going to say even before you was born, Edward, but what Bill County's been doing since midway through the '80s to right now is just phenomenal. And again, it's just every year it's a machine. I'm losing my voice. And then the Scott girls that we brought on, they sort of won us over. Just not only their personalities, but their parents, their fan bases, the love of that team. It's hard not to be fans of that. And hopefully we can get them on many, many more times on next season and on down the road. And then the interview with Olivia, a very, very special young lady, and I know the family quite well, and just absolutely love all of them. I just want to wish her the very best of luck, and as far as want to. That girl pushes herself as hard as I've seen anybody push, and everybody I've talked to. It's going to be interesting. The more we cover wrestling, the more we get to understanding it.
Absolutely. And for first off, I want to thank our sponsors that Bryant Family Medicine and Heather Martinez Realtor for everything that they do for us to allow us to be able to cover these student athletes. And like you said, Mark, I'm gonna leave you on the same note that I do week in, week out. If you don't have anything to do, go cover these student athletes. Go watch them. Go see the heart, the passion that they put in to perform. And Mark, well, you seen it firsthand. We was up there Saturday watching, the volleyball state tournament. There's a lot of these sports that doesn't get the love and the coverage that they well deserve. So get out there and cover some of these student athletes. Get out there and watch them. They'd love to see you come to their game.
I know you're wanting to close the show up, Edward, but I'm going to harp on what you were saying, and especially volleyball. It is disappointing. I'm not going to give numbers, but when Assumption was being awarded state champions, how many photographers was on that court actually taking pictures? I mean, these girls work just as hard as the football players, as the basketball players, as the baseball, softball players, as any of the big sports, and us as media, we owe that to them to get out and do our part to help promote these kids because they love like Olivia. She loves wrestling just as much as somebody playing football. Like the Scott girls love volleyball as much as anybody playing basketball. Their parents love their children playing that sport, and they're just as high. And I'm telling you, to go to these volleyball games, the atmosphere's in them. I'm excited to go out and watch wrestling this year and just feel the excitement at these games. There's just as much passion in these other sports as they are, can I say, the three that we've been talking about.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna leave you with that. Show up at some of the games and watch the passion these student athletes put in and the hard work they put in. But from everybody here at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media, we want to tell you good night and God bless.